Hey everybody, hope and pray that you're doing well. Today as we come to our word from the word. And today that word is pursuit. Pursuit. Now, as we continue going through the Proverbs this week, and we're right there in the middle of all the list of Solomon's Proverbs, and like I told you last week, if you're following along daily in our last video, we saw that the beginning of these kind of one-liners or a verse with a thought, always these compare and contrast. Like here's the good thing to do, or the wise thing to do, and here's the foolish thing to do. In a lot of different scenarios. And so they're great to look through, sometimes arranged a little bit in thoughts together, and sometimes may seem to jump back and forth. But in totality, right, the Proverbs are speaking about wisdom and foolishness. So you can kind of see that theme throughout, but it may be in dealing with money or finances or food, and dealing with people and attitudes and just a lot of different things. But today I want us to think about that pursuit. That pursuit. We're going to look at Proverbs 11, verse 19. And let's just jump right in and read that. It says, as righteousness leads to life, so he who pursues evil pursues it to his own death. Nate, you think about that and you say, okay, well, if you're watching these daily with us, then you're saying, okay, Monday morning, that's just what I wanted to hear, that I'm pursuing death. No, what it's saying is, I mean, let's think about this. What about the choices that we're making? What are we chasing after? Are we chasing after righteousness? Are we chasing after God? Or are we chasing after the flesh and after evil and all the things that Satan has tempted us with? I mean, now you think about this. You think about if you're physically chasing after the drugs and alcohol and parties and all the things that go along with that. Now, you think about the damage that you're doing to your body physically, that could actually shorten your physical life. So, if that's the case, and we know that to be true, so if you're chasing after those evil things, then you're chasing after your own death. Now, that's not to say, okay, well, that means if I'm only chasing holiness, if I'm only chasing God, then that guarantees me a long life, a long physical life here on earth. And that's not the case either. It's not a guarantee. Remember, these are proverbs, not promises. And so it's a good way, an insightful way of looking at things. Well, if we want to be around longer, to be able to continue to live in the way that God would have us to. You think about it, if your name is already written in the Lamb's Book of Life, and you're already your residence is already in heaven, then our job and our role as Christians, as believers, is to continue to chase after righteousness. It's not chasing after God in the way that he cannot be reached, but he's still God. So we cannot reach or attain to his level, but we can know God. And we can chase after the things of God. And we can pursue those things. We could wake up in the morning and pursue a time of prayer with him, a quiet time. We can pursue a time of worship. We can pursue a time where we listen to him. We can pursue having right relationships with our friends and our family and our coworkers, godly relationships in which we are chasing after life. That we're not trying to create more anxiety, not trying to create more stress and turmoil. You see these throughout the Proverbs as well, of how you can stir up wrath, or how you can stir up, and even as we'll talk about tomorrow, how you can promote peace. You think about these different things. We don't need to be adding to people's turmoil. We need to be helping them pursue righteousness. So the first thing we can do is pursue it ourselves. We live by example. And then we also can help warn people against their chasing after physical death. I mean, it's also to think about that if we know the wages of sin is death, and if we know it's an unbeliever, then if they're truly our friends, if we truly love them, if we truly want them to know, if we truly see them the way that God sees them, when would we not want to warn them of what was going on? I've used the example before. Could you imagine if there was a car going the wrong way on a one-way street, And if you were able to, would you not try to stop that car and let them know, hey, you're heading straight for disaster. You're heading straight for death. And as much as we would try to do that, no matter who the person was, no matter what they looked like, no matter what they acted like, we would try to stop them if we could. But we don't do that spiritually when we see people choosing and chasing after evil. So if we know that in our own lives it's important for us to chase after righteousness, then let's also chase after doing righteous things. Let's chase after and pursue being righteous children of God. Now, we can't do it on our own, but with the Lord's help, with the Holy Spirit working in and through us, there is nothing that He cannot do. So, what are you pursuing today? God bless you, and I pray you have a great, great day.